So we started this chapter number 16, who will do this work in the last class. And in this chapter, we learn about all sorts of work which our helpers do, the sanitation workers, which clean our houses. Who clean our houses and the streets, roads. They clean manholes, the sewages. They do all the work that people find dirty and difficult to do. And we are on page number 150. Let's start reading. It says, what would happen if nobody did this work? Nobody did the work of cleaning the houses or the streets, the roads or the sewage. What would happen? If nobody cleared the garbage lying outside your school or your house for 1 week, then what would happen? So you have to imagine what would happen if the garbage is all lying around and nobody is cleaning it up, it's just piling. So if nobody do this work, then it will create a lot of problems like the garbage will get collected outside near the schools and houses, and it will keep on collecting, and it would be a home to house flies and the mosquitoes, and then to various disease. It will give bad smell due to the process of rotting. Also, the garbage which is thrown outside, since it's not getting collected, it will rot and it would create bad smell. It will become home for mosquitoes and flies, and all sorts of disease would start spreading from there. These pictures are also made by children. You can see here is a racket sort of thing. Then there is something that a garbage collector sort of thing, how you can collect garbages. Do you think that anyone has ever tried to change this situation? Yes, many people have tried. People are trying even today, but it is not easy to change this. One such person was Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi had a friend, Mahadev Bhai Desai. Mahadev Bhai's son, Narayan, also stayed with Gandhiji when he was young. This incident is from Narayan's book. So we'll hear or we'll read about this incident from and it's the incident which is written in Narayan's book, and he's the son of Mahatma Gandhi's friend. Remembering those days, when Narayan Babla was about 11 years old, he was staying in Gandhiji's Sabarmati Ashram. So Gandhiji's Sabarmati Ashram, it is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and many people used to come and live there. Those of you who have opted for Hindi, they must have read a chapter called Swatantrata Ki Or in the last class in fourth, when you were in fourth, and you would know that people from all over India would come to stay in this ashram, and they would take various learnings from Gandhiji and everybody around in that ashram. And there was a rule of this ashram that everybody who stayed there, even the smallest of the smallest kid, they have their own work and everybody has to do the work they are assigned. So like everyone else in the ashram, he had to do various kinds of work. One of his jobs was to teach the guests how to clean the toilets. So all the guests, they were supposed to clean their toilets themselves, and Narayan or Babla taught them how to do it. In those days, the toilets were not what we know today. There used to be holes under which baskets were kept. People sat on the holes. Later, the baskets had to be lifted by hand to be emptied. So now we flush all the waste that um, in the washroom, all the waste just get flushed out. But earlier, in those days, people had to collect all that which is collected in the baskets, and they have to empty that themselves. It was the usual practice that people from a particular community would do this work, and no, most of the people, they would only let certain community or certain people do that type of work. Nobody liked to do that work. Every person had to carry the basket to the but in Gandhiji's ashram, every person had to carry the basket to the compost pit and empty it there. No one was excused from this task, not even the guest. And but in Gandhiji's ashram, everybody had to do this work and nobody could be excused, not even the guest. Narayan Bhai remembers how some people used to try and avoid this work. Some even left the ashram because of this. So, to avoid doing this work, they left the ashram. Some years later, Gandhiji went to stay at a village near Wardha in Maharashtra. Gandhiji, Mahadev Bhai, and others started to clean the toilets in the village. They did this for some months. One morning, a man coming from the toilet saw Mahadev Bhai. He pointed to him and said, "There is a lot of dirt over there. Go and clean that." When Babla saw this, he was very angry. He thought the villagers felt that this was not their work. This was for Gandhiji and his team to do. He asked Gandhiji why this was so. Gandhiji replied, "Untouchability is a serious matter. Lot of hard work will be required to change this." So, in older times, there was this term which was very used or which was very much in practice, which was called untouchability. As the name also suggests, it says the people who you can't touch because they do work uh, which are which are difficult for most of the people. They are dirty, cleaning toilets, cleaning the garbage, collecting garbage. So all these things, all these works were considered very dirty and difficult to do. And that's why the people who did this work, people, most people, they keep them away from them. they वो उनको हमसे अपने आप से अलग रखते थे. they were they didn't touch them, उनके पास नहीं जाते थे, उनको टच नहीं करते थे, and they would call them untouchables कि हम उनको टच नहीं कर सकते. So there was this concept at that time. So Gandhiji said, so this was this term that the people who, most people, they would think कि जो ये काम करते हैं, the people who, clean the surroundings or clean the toilets or the garbage, they are dirty and they shouldn't touch it, which is very wrong. And Gandhiji also mentioned that this wrong thinking of people, it will take a lot of time to change and a lot of hard work. Narayan knew that people who usually did this work were thought to be untouchable. He asked, "What is the use if village people do not change their thinking? They have become used to someone else doing this work for them." Gandhiji replied, "Why? Don't you think the people who clean also benefit from it? They also learn a lesson. To learn something is like learning a new skill, even if it is a cleaning job." So Gandhiji said, even if they are cleaning it, but they have learned a skill. मतलब उन्होंने कुछ तो सीखा है, even if they are cleaning. They have learned the skill of cleaning. No work is small, no work is, ऐसा कोई काम नहीं होता जिससे आप कुछ सीखते नहीं हो. Every work gives you a lesson to learn. And that's what Gandhiji taught in his ashram when everybody was doing one or the other work. Little Narayan was not convinced. He again argued, "Those who make a place dirty but do not clean it should also learn lessons." Gandhiji and Narayan continued to argue about this. But when he grew up, Narayan always followed the path shown by Gandhiji. So Gandhiji, he stressed that all the people do all kinds of work because no work is small, no work is dirty, and every work, by doing every work, we learn one thing or the other. Next, the questions, it says, why did Gandhiji and his team start doing the job of cleaning? What do you think about this? So, because he respected or he wanted, respect for all kinds of jobs, He wanted to show that a particular job is not meant for particular people or caste. So it was also that he didn't want that, people would categorize some people as untouchables because they are doing a work that is, that most people find dirty. तो वो चाहते नहीं थे कि ऐसा हो कि लोग उस जॉब को ऐसे देखें कि अरे नहीं ये काम नहीं हम कर सकते, इट्स वेरी डर्टी एंड वी कांट डू इट. So he wanted respect for all kinds of jobs and the people. That's why he decided to clean, take up this job of cleaning. Do you know any such people in your area who try to help others in solving their problems? So yes, nowadays many people come forward to help each other, and that is if you see in this COVID situation, we can see so many people and so many good examples of people who are helping, helping different people who are in need and who want help, and without them asking for the help, people are coming forward to help them. Next, it says guests at Gandhiji's ashram had to learn this work also. If you were one of the guests, what would you do? So, if you would ask, you have to imagine if you were to ask to, uh, uh, clean the toilets and all those things, would you do it happily? That's the question. So, if you think about it, like most of the people, you would also not like to do this work happily. So, yes, you would have learned to, so it's up to you. It's possible that you would have learned to do this work happily, or you would not have, learned it, or you would have also left the ashram because you were to do this work. So it's up to you if you would learn it happily and do it, or just leave it. Next question says, what are the toilet arrangements in your house? Where is the toilet, inside the house or outside? Who cleans the toilet? So nowadays we all have, toilets attached to our bedrooms. So if we have two or three bedrooms, we'll probably have two or three toilets also, which is attached to the room. And sometimes there is a one which is common, which is, it's not attached to any bedroom or something, but it's common, and usually it's inside the house, and with, all the modern facilities, plus it's possible that the toilet and the bathroom, they are only, they are together with only one door. Then it's and about the cleaning part, usually the mother or the person who is assigned to do that does that. Maybe it's possible that if you have, housemaids, they would clean the toilets for you. How did the man who was returning from the toilet behave with Mahadev Bhai? Why did he behave like this? So the man who came back to, came back from the toilet, he behaved very badly and he started insulting Mahadev Bhai. And because he thought that, cleaning is a dirty job and it's done by the people who are untouchables, and we cannot touch them because they are dirty, they are doing a dirty job, and so these people are also dirty, so they think that sort of thing. That's why he behaved like that. So his thinking was also very bad. How do people generally behave with those people who clean toilets and drains? Generally, so people think they, they have, they think or they behave badly with those people who clean toilets and drains because the impression towards them is that they are untouchables. Again, because they think that this, these people are dirty because they do this dirty work. So they don't like to touch them at all. Narayan and Gandhiji discussed all this many years ago. Have things changed now? Yes, many things have changed now, and the concept of untouchability has also vanished. So now there is not such concept of untouchability that, people won't touch or people won't. people would behave badly or insult those who are cleaning the houses for us, or who's cleaning the drain for us, who's cleaning the toilets for us. So this concept has totally vanished. The concept of untouchability, which was, the concept was very bad, but but about the part where it has vanished, it's very good. And people have, changed their thinking. They have changed everything. They've started to appreciate and, um, value all kinds of work, all kinds of jobs, and the people. That is very good. Next is a childhood story. This story is almost 100 years old. 7-year-old Bhim went to Goregaon in Maharashtra with his father to spend his holidays. He saw a barber cutting the long hair of a rich farmer's buffalo. He thought of his long own hair. He went to the barber and asked for a haircut. The barber replied, "If I cut your hair, both my razor and I will get dirty." Oh, so to cut human hair can be dirtier than cutting an animal's hair, wondered little Bhim. Later, this little Bhim was known as Bhim Rao Baba Sahib Ambedkar. He became very famous across the world. Baba Sahib fought for justice for people like him. After India's freedom, the constitution was prepared under the leadership of Baba Sahib. So this is a story about Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar. And when he was small, he was 7 years old, he witnessed this concept of untouchability, or this concept where people segregated or separated different people, as they would not touch them, they would not cut their hair. So this was a story about a barber. He was cutting animals, buffalo's hair, but he was not ready to cut Bhimrao's uh, hair, because he considered him untouchable, that he can't touch them, and that's why he did it. But as you see, the education changes everything. It has the power to change everything. It has the power to fight away the bad and the evil in the society. And that's how the little Bhim, he he gained so much of education, and he became the Bhimrao Baba Sahib Ambedkar. And he was, the chairman, or he was the main man behind the Constitution of India. We celebrated Republic Day, right? And we celebrate it every year because on this day our constitution was made into effect. मतलब उस दिन से हमारा जो constitution था वो लागू हुआ, मतलब इट केम इनटू इफेक्ट, मतलब उस दिन से सब रूल्स के हिसाब से एवरीबडी स्टार्टेड टू वर्क. So this constitution, it was made under his guidance. मतलब वो main man थे, he was the chairman of this committee जिन्होंने constitution बनाया था. So see the people, the people when he was younger, the people, they didn't touch him, they behaved badly with him. And because he was very determined, he worked hard for it. He gained education ताकि वो सारी चीजें बदल सके, and then he became that person who formulated all the rules, as to how the country will work. So he became that, that one person, that big man who would prepare the constitution of a big country like India. So next is a conversation in school, the reality today. Hetal, I'm Hetal and this is Meena. We both study in class third. What all do you do in school? We clean the ground. Do all children clean? No, not all. We also have to clean the toilets. We do it on different days. I clean on Monday, she does on Tuesday, and she on Wednesday. All the children from our community do this. We have to carry 20 buckets of water for this. We have to sweep and wash. Why only you? Why not all the children? Only we have to. If we don't get, we get beaten. So again, this is if this is an interview, and this is taken from a documentary film. Its name is India Untouched, and it's by Stalin K. So again, this is a story about the older times when people, have this thinking that you know, they would make only a section of people do the work which is related to cleaning the toilets or cleaning the garbage, collecting it, and they would not touch them because they think that that work is dirty, and now because those people have done that work, they have also become dirty. So it's good that this concept has vanished away because the people are more, literate now, they are more educated now, so they know that no work is small. Every work and every person in the world deserves respect. हर किसी को respect चाहिए, and also हमें देनी भी चाहिए, क्योंकि कोई काम छोटा या बड़ा नहीं होता. No work is small. Every work deserves its respect, and it should get it, and the person doing it too. Next, it says, who does the cleaning in your school? What all has to be cleaned? So, so if you imagine your school, so who does the cleaning in your school? The sweepers. They clean the school, and what all areas have to be cleaned? So the classrooms and the lobby. Then we have ground, toilets. So all these things have to be cleaned, and they are cleaned by the sweepers. Now, do all children like you help in this? If yes, how? So, do you help the sweepers in cleaning the school? No, we don't help them, because if we help them, we have to miss our classes. But somehow we, we manage to, or we try to not litter the school, or try to not, we don't throw the garbage outside of the bin, so that the work of sweepers is lessened. ऐसा नहीं करते हम कि जा जाके सारा जो garbage है we throw them away here and there. We throw them in the dustbins where it should be, so that we can somehow help the sweepers in cleaning. If all do not help, why not? Because अब उसमें भी क्या है कि because we are going to school for studies, we are going to school to to take up the classes, so it's possible that we are not doing it because we have classes. Again, some people would also think that cleaning is a dirty job, that's why they are not doing it. So do all children do all kinds of work? No, not all children do all kinds of work. Again, the children shouldn't do any work apart from studying work or playing work, but it means the work where you can help. जैसे आप घर में हेल्प करते हो, you help your mother in doing something, you help your grandparents or your siblings or your father, mother. So you, that sort of thing they are asking if you do. So do you do all kinds of work? No, because children, they are very small, they don't do all kinds of work. They usually help in, help elders in doing their work. Do they sometimes have to miss classes to do this work? So no, they won't miss the classes to do this work. Do the girls and boys do the same kinds of work? Yes, if the helping part is done, most of the, it is, same for both boys and girls. If girls are keeping the surrounding clean, if they are throwing the garbage in the bin, so are the boys. So yes, the kinds of work are same outside. What all work do you do at home? So what all work? So you help your mother in, cleaning or cooking or anything that she wants help with. You help your father, you help your grandparents, siblings, so all kinds of work we help them. Is the work done by boys and girls, men and women the same? No, the work is not same, but again we can share the work and we can help them do it. So it kinds of becomes everybody's job to do it. So सबका सेम काम नहीं होता, लेकिन हम शेयर करके हेल्प करके करके we can help each other in sharing the work and completing the work. Would you like to bring some change? What kind? So, would you like to bring some change? Yes, if the change becomes that every person does all kinds of work or should do all kinds of work, कुछ ऐसे designated नहीं होना चाहिए कि that this work is only for boys or this work is only for girls and you shouldn't do it, you should do that. It should not look like this. So everybody should do all kinds of work. That would be the change that we would like to make in the world, get in the world. Again, it says discuss. Do people look at different kinds of work in the same way? If not, why this is so? Why is it important to bring change? So every work, as we see in the last question, it says, would you like to bring some change? Yes, we would like to bring this change because every work is important for the society. So छोटे से छोटा काम भी बहुत important होता है. If we are even picking up garbage from street and putting it in bin, it is an important work. It helps so many people. It will not loiter the streets. It will help the sweepers. Again, it will help all the people who live in and around that place. No garbage is getting rotten there. No house flies and mosquitoes will cause any disease over there. So it's helping so many people. The simplest job, a simple job does not mean that it is useless. और ऐसा नहीं है कि वो बहुत छोटा सा काम है, इसका ये मतलब है कि वो useless है, उसका कोई यूज नहीं है. No, every work, even the smallest of the work, has you know it has its importance. Every person has self respect, and people should learn to pay respect to others, no matter which kind of work they are doing. And because every work is important, and so the person doing it is also very important. And people should learn to pay respect to every work and people who are doing it. Gandhiji's favorite song or bhajan is given here. This bhajan is in Gujarati. Try to understand the meaning of these lines with the help of your elders. Think about the lines. You must have learned this or you have heard this bhajan somewhere. My singing is not very good, but it would be like Vaishnava jan to tene kahiye je पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे अपमान सहेजे मन अभिमान ना आने दे. So you can listen to the more soulful or more tune song on YouTube. You must have heard it, and you can also hear it again. So it's a very nice song, and it means this song. It is in Gujarati, but here it means an ideal person or a very good person is one who understands the pains of others. तो एक अच्छा इंसान, a good person is one who knows who knows and he or she understands the pain of others. उसको समझ में आता है कि it says जो पीड़ पराई जाने रे, वो जानता है कि दूसरों पे he understands what pain people are going through. An ideal person is willing to bear insult to remove sorrow from some other's life. और वो जानता है that that good person knows how to he can also take insult, or he can uh, listen to some bad things for people, for a person, to remove sadness from their life. ऐसा हो सकता है कि वो जो good person है वो थोड़ी बहुत insult भी ले ले, क्योंकि he want to remove all the sadness from other people's life. So he's such a good person. While doing all this, an ideal person should not have an iota of ego in his mind. और ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि जब when this person is trying to help, तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए उसके दिल में ego हो that no, I wouldn't do with this thing, or why should I do this, उसको खुद करना चाहिए मैं क्यों करूं. So this should not happen. So an ideal person, a good person, is the one who knows what other people are going through, and he understands their pain, and he or she does anything and everything in his power to make that pain go away. तो मतलब वो चाहते हैं, जो अच्छे लोग होते हैं वो दूसरों का दर्द समझते हैं, एंड दे नो हाउ टू मेक देम हैप्पी, और हाउ टू टेक अवे देयर सॉरो और देयर सैडनेस. और जब वो ऐसा करते हैं तो वो जेन्युइनली हेल्प करते हैं, वो रियली हेल्प कर रहे होते हैं, उनमें ईगो नहीं होता दैट इफ आई हेल्प दिस पर्सन तो मुझे भी कुछ मिलेगा. नो, दे डोंट हैव सच ईगो, और उनके अंदर कुछ ऐसा नहीं होता दैट व्हाई शुड आई हेल्प हिम, लेट हिम बी अनहैप्पी, लेट हर बी अनहैप्पी. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता उनके दिल में. So this was all that we learnt in this chapter, that every person should do every kind of work, and every kind of work in this world, even the simplest of the simplest one, it requires, or it should have the respect uh, that it deserves, and also the people who are doing it. So no work is simple, so simple that no work is so small that you would not respect it or the person doing it. Every work is important, and so are the people doing it. So that is the big lesson that we learned in this chapter.